Hello there, and welcome to episode 76, and we are finally out of the land of fish and chips, and into the horrifying lands of sub-Saharan Africa. And, dare I say, this is probably a fan favorite, the hippopotamus. Scientifically known as Hippopotamus amphibius, or the amphibious river horse, this beast is the third largest terrestrial animal behind the rhino and the elephant at a whopping 3,009 to 3,260 pounds. Now, most people may mistake the animal as fat or blubberous. This monster is pure muscle. This is best shown through the mere fact that hippos can't swim. Yes, despite living most of their lives in water, these animals are so dense and heavy they sink straight to the bottom of a riverbed. They walk. Yes, they walk across the river and can even run up to 5 miles per hour underwater. Now, doesn't sound fast until you realize the average recreational swimmer usually only hits 2 to 3 miles per hour. And even if you make it to land, they still outpace you at 19 miles per hour. Now, I have plenty of horrifying facts about hippos, but we can get to that after discussing where they actually came from. This story begins 60 million years ago, where the order of artiodactylids split off into two main branches, the Anthracotheres and the cetaceans. Now, while the former is the path we'll follow, you may note the latter sounds a bit familiar. And this is because cetaceans are the group of animals that consist of whales, porpoises, and dolphins. Now, Anthracotheres have evolved into many different species. However, hippos are the last left alive, as all others had gone extinct at least by 2.5 million years ago. The animals we now know as hippos came about roughly 7.5 million years ago in Afro-Arabia. This was a time before the Red Sea had actually been created, hence the hyphenated name, and despite the modern connotation between hippos and Africa, ancient hippos actually traveled all the way into Europe roughly 560 to 460,000 years ago. While they did mostly stick to the south like Greece, Italy, and Iberia, they did follow the coast, reaching as far north as Yorkshire, England. So, I guess the Brits are still getting a shout out. We've even found cut-up marks of hippo bones in Spain that date back 230 to 120,000 years ago. And the culprit? Neanderthals, not human. However, as climate cooled, they would slowly become extinct in Europe. This, with the last stragglers hanging on in Greece until roughly 40 to 30,000 years ago. But they still stuck around the Levant until 1000 BC-ish, and still hugged the Mediterranean, most notably the Nile River. While it's hard to say when they went extinct in Egypt, we do know that they were still noted to be extant during the Arab conquest in 639 AD. In the modern era, they can only be found in the scattered populations of sub-Saharan Africa, and one other unsettling location, Colombia. And this is where I'll start the horror section of the video. You see, in the 1980s, the infamous Pablo Escobar had imported a ton of exotic animals into Colombia for pretty much his own personal zoo. Why did he make a menagerie, I hear you ask? Simple. He had so much fucking money from cocaine, he literally had nothing to spend it on, so he just started buying expensive shit. However, once the feds got him, someone had to remove the animals. While most of the creatures of the zoo could be relocated, the hippos, they were less cooperative. You see, hippos are extremely violent. They are insanely territorial and actually responsible for more human deaths than any other mammal on Earth, killing roughly 500 people annually. While some people may argue dogs kill more, it's mostly rabies that causes the death, not the dogs, like, ripping someone's throat out, so I'm not gonna count that. but they've actually been so violently aggressive, some scientists have actually put out the idea that they may be omnivorous, not just herbivorous. Some reports state they will wait beside busy drinking locations just to attack animals on the bank, and no matter what some may say, most herbivores will eat meat to balance out their diet. For animals like deer and cattle, it's carrion or eggs. But for something with a 16 to 20 inch incisors and canines respectively, and a mouth that can open 110 degrees, well, I'll let you paint the picture. Getting back to Colombia, the military essentially said fuck it and hoped that they just die eventually. Instead, they escaped and bred, and now are wreaking havoc on the rivers of Colombia. Now, to save time, I'm just going to refer to the video made by the Fat Electrician on YouTube for more details. But long story short, hippos are destroying the environment, hippies in America said Colombia can't kill them, and they now have the potential to destroy a good chunk of the Amazon rainforest. Now, despite their devastating hatred for all living things and the fact they sweat a blood-colored oil to protect themselves from the sun and to help get rid of disease, a lot of cultures revered them. For instance, in Egyptian mythology, the god Set will take the form of a red hippo to fight Horus. Real missed opportunity there for the Blood Angels, but you know. The goddess Taweret was also depicted as a pregnant woman with the head of a hippo, and represented maternal protection, somewhat similar to, you know, the idea of the mama bear. Mess with the baby, and you get mauled to death. Or in the case of the hippo, have all your limbs broken and vored. The Yoruba people of Nigeria and Benin also use the bones and tusks of the animal in divination rituals, and it may also have been the influence for Behemoth in the book of Job. Now, with all of this said and done, it is important to note that even though we've discussed the Big Five on this channel, I believe 4 times now, hippos are not one of them. Why? I don't know. Probably because the Big Five is based on hunting, and no one wants to hunt a hippo. Not just because they're extremely violent, but also good luck yanking 1.5 tons of muscle from the bottom of a river once you kill it. And to end this all off, let's also not forget the fact that the influence of the animal in everyday culture, from hungry hippos to, you know, that abominable Christmas song that I dare not repeat, the hippo does have a decent amount of influence, and to this day, good luck finding a person who doesn't know about the hippopotamus. Now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Also, if YouTube asks you for your personal information, don't give it to them. Don't do it. I'm not going to get too far into it. If you know what's happening, good for you. If you don't, just take my words of warning. And until next time, go outside, touch grass, hug your loved ones, drink water, and bye-bye.